So I didn't get married until just before my 29th birthday. And all through my 20s, I really wanted to be in a relationship. I really wanted to meet someone who I could see myself sharing life with and get married to them. I wanted that. I craved that. And I often heard this singleness myth that made me feel guilty for still wanting to get married. Hey friends, my name's Tiffany Dawn, and if you're new to this channel, we talk about how to build healthy relationships with yourself, with God, and with the people you date. So you can hit subscribe to see more videos like this. So when I was in my 20s and single and wanting to get married, I would all the time, in the Christian culture I grew up in, I'd often hear this message that if I ever wanted to get married and if I wanted to honor God, I had to learn how to enjoy being single. I had to learn how to like it so much that I no longer really wanted to get married. People say all the time, like, once I stopped wanting to get married, that's when God sent my husband. Or once I became content, then I finally got married. And I just want to say that that is such a myth. Like, that might be true for those particular people, but that does not mean that because you want to get married, you're not content, or you're not honoring God, or God is withholding your husband. It doesn't mean those things. If you want to get married, that's normal, and you don't have to lose that desire or say singleness is the best thing that's ever happened to me. It's okay if singleness is hard. It's okay if you don't want to be single anymore. It's okay if you never stop wanting to get married. That is okay. And I wish someone had just sat me down and told me that, because I lived under so much guilt and pressure over this idea of, I have to change the way I feel about singleness if I ever want to honor God or get married. I think we get this idea because of scripture verses where it says to rejoice in all things, to be thankful in all things. And it's true that you can find things to rejoice in or things to be grateful for in every season of life. But the Bible is also very clear that there are seasons of mourning and seasons of dancing. There are seasons where you sow in tears and seasons where you reap in joy. In other words, there are seasons that are hard, and that's okay. I really thought that if I was content, it meant that singleness was no longer hard. That's not what contentment is. In Philippians 4, Paul says, I have learned in all things to be content. I've learned when I'm hungry and when I'm full, when I have everything and when I have nothing, I can be content because I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. What I love about that passage is Paul is saying, I'm still hungry in those moments. It's not like I'm saying, I'm so content that I no longer desire food. I'm so content that I don't think about food. I'm so content that if a feast were presented to me, I would say, no, thank you, because I'm so spiritually content. No, he's saying, I'm hungry, but I'm still content in those moments because I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. And I think singleness can be like hunger. If you're someone who wants to be in a relationship, who wants to get married, being content in that situation does not mean you lose the desire for it. It means that you surrender the desire for it and you just keep saying, God, I'm going to trust you. God, I'm going to walk with you. I'm not going to go out with this guy who doesn't treat me right because I'm so desperate. And in my story, I never stopped keeping my eye out for a husband. I never stopped wanting to get married. I believe that I became content, so to speak, in that I was surrendered to God and found more things I could enjoy during that season of singleness, probably when I was like 25. I didn't get married for another 4 years. It wasn't like I became content and then I got married. Nope, that was not my story. And I also never lost the desire for marriage. I wanted it right up until the day I got married. And God did not withhold my husband because I wanted to get married. That would just be kind of messed up. Like, he wants us to go to him with the desires of our hearts and surrender them to him, but also say, God, this is what I'm longing for and it's not here, and that's hard. And he wants you to share that with him. There's actually this amazing story in the Bible about this girl who finds out she's going to be dying and she's going to die without being married. And so she asks to go into the wilderness and mourn for 3 days. So I want to share that story with you, along with a few things that helped me find some joy and gratitude in my singleness, in this next video linked up above. So I love you girls, and I'll see you in that video.